Most retirees I talk to believe they have Social Security figured out. They know approximately what their monthly check will be. They have a rough idea of when they want to file, and they feel reasonably confident about the whole thing. But here is the problem. Social Security has rules that are genuinely confusing, rules that interact with each other in ways that almost nobody explains clearly, and mistakes that once made cannot be undone. Today, I am going to walk you through the 5 most costly Social Security mistakes retirees make, what each one actually costs you, and exactly what to do instead. Let's get into it. The most common Social Security mistake is also the most expensive one. Claiming at 62 without truly understanding what it cost you. I covered this in detail in our last video, but let me give you the core numbers one more time because they matter. If your full retirement benefit at 67 is $2,000 a month, claiming at 62 gives you $1,400 a month instead. That is $600 less every single month for the rest of your life. And here is what most people miss. It is not just the difference in the monthly check. Over 20 years of retirement, that $600 monthly gap adds up to $144,000. Over 25 years, it is $180,000. That is not a small rounding error. That is a life-changing amount of money. Now, claiming early is the right decision for some people. We talked about that last time, but claiming early without doing the math first, without understanding the break-even point, without comparing it against your specific health situation and your spouse's situation, that is the mistake. Before you file for Social Security, run the numbers. Use the calculator at ssa.gov. Talk to a financial advisor who specializes in retirement income. This is one decision you cannot undo. If you are married, Social Security becomes significantly more complicated, and most couples treat it as two completely separate decisions. She files when she is ready, he files when he is ready. Nobody looks at the bigger picture. That approach costs married couples tens of thousands of dollars in lifetime benefits. Here is why. When you are married, one of you likely has a higher Social Security benefit than the other. The higher earner's benefit is not just their benefit, it eventually becomes the survivor benefit, the amount the surviving spouse receives for the rest of their life after one partner passes away. So delaying the higher earner's benefit until 70, even if it means the lower earner claims earlier to bring in some income in the meantime, creates the largest possible survivor benefit for whoever is left behind. For a couple where the husband's benefit at 70 would be $2,480 a month versus claiming at 62 at $1,400. The surviving spouse could receive $1,080 more every single month for potentially 15 or 20 years after their partner is gone. That is a difference of over $200,000 in lifetime benefits. And here is something many people do not know. As a spouse, you may be entitled to up to 50% of your partner's full retirement benefit, even if you have little or no work history of your own. This spousal benefit does not reduce your partner's check at all. But if you claim your spousal benefit early, it is permanently reduced, just like your own benefit would be. The bottom line for married couples, before either of you files for Social Security, sit down together and look at the combined picture. Model out different scenarios. Look at what happens to the surviving spouse in each case. The right strategy for your household as a whole may look very different from what seems right for each of you individually. This mistake catches a lot of people by surprise. Many retirees want to claim Social Security early while still working part-time or even full-time, and they assume they can do both without any penalty. They cannot. If you claim Social Security before your full retirement age of 67, and you continue to work, there is an earnings limit. In 2026, that limit is $24,480 per year. If you earn more than that, Social Security withholds $1 for every $2 you earn over the limit. Let me put that in real numbers. Say you claim at 64 and you are still earning $40,000 a year from part time consulting. That is $15,520 over the limit. Social Security withholds $7,760 from your benefits for the year. That is more than $600 a month gone. Now, to be fair, those withheld benefits are not completely lost. When you reach full retirement age, Social Security recalculates your benefit upward to give you credit for the months your benefits were withheld. But the timing and the cash flow impact can create real problems, especially for people who counted on that Social Security income to pay monthly bills. The simple rule is this: if you are still working and earning meaningfully above the limit, it almost always makes more financial sense to wait on Social Security until you reach full retirement age or stop working. Claiming early while working significantly can cost you more than you realize and complicate your taxes as well. This mistake is specific to a group of retirees who may not even know they are affected, and it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. In January 2025, President Biden signed the Social Security Fairness Act into law. This legislation repealed two provisions that had reduced or completely eliminated Social Security benefits for millions of public sector workers, teachers, firefighters, police officers, federal employees, and their spouses. The two provisions were called the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset. For 20 years or more, these rules had quietly cut Social Security checks for people who received government pensions from jobs that did not pay into Social Security. In many cases, spouses lost their entire spousal benefit. The repeal is retroactive to January 2024. That means affected retirees are owed back pay plus higher ongoing monthly benefits going forward. The average benefit increase for affected retirees is around $360 per month. For a retired teacher whose WEP cut was $500 a month, that is $6,000 a year in recovered income, plus 2 years of retroactive back payments. But here is the critical part. Many affected retirees have not received their money yet because their cases have not been fully processed by the Social Security Administration. And some retirees who were told years ago that their spousal benefit was zero under GPO never filed for Social Security at all. If you have a public pension, or if your spouse does, log into your account at ssa.gov right now and check your benefit amount. If you think you may have been affected by WEP or GPO, call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-077-21213. And if you never filed for spousal benefits because GPO would have eliminated them, file a new application today. This money is yours, but you have to claim it. The fifth mistake is one of the most common, and it has nothing to do with the size of your check. It has to do with timing. Many people assume that Social Security and Medicare enrollment work the same way. They do not. Here is the confusion. You can start Social Security as early as 62, but Medicare eligibility begins at 65, regardless of when you start Social Security, and Medicare has its own enrollment window, a 7-month period that starts 3 months before your 65th birthday and ends 3 months after. If you miss that window and do not have qualifying employer coverage, you will pay a late enrollment penalty on your Medicare Part B premium for the rest of your life. That penalty is 10% for every full 12-month period you were eligible but did not enroll. Miss it by 2 years, and your Part B premium is permanently 20% higher. In 2026, the standard Part B premium is $202.90 per month. A 20% penalty adds about $40 a month on top of that, every month, for as long as you have Medicare. The reverse confusion also happens. Some people sign up for Medicare at 65 and assume that means they are also enrolled in Social Security. They are not. Medicare and Social Security are separate programs with separate enrollment processes. You need to actively sign up for each one. The simple rule to remember: set a reminder for your 64th birthday, 9 months before Medicare eligibility begins. Use that time to understand your options, compare plans, and make sure you enroll during your initial window. Do not let a paperwork oversight cost you $40 or $50 a month for the next 20 years. Let me pull this together for you. 5 mistakes, 5 things to watch out for. Number 1, do not claim Social Security early without running the numbers and understanding the lifetime cost. Number 2, if you are married, look at Social Security as a household strategy, not two separate decisions. Number 3, if you are still working, understand the earnings test before you file. Number 4, if you have a public sector pension, check ssa.gov today to see if you are owed money from the WEP and GPO repeal. And number 5, mark your calendar for 9 months before your 65th birthday and start learning about Medicare before that enrollment window opens. Social Security is not complicated once someone explains it clearly. That is what we do here at RetireSafe Guide every single week. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who is approaching retirement. The people who need this information the most are often the ones who do not know where to look for it. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe and stay protected.